The moment I finally trusted God's plan. I sat alone in my small room and looked out the window. Rain was falling from the dark sky. My heart felt heavy. I asked myself the same question again and again. God, why is this happening to me? A few months before that day, my life was very different. I had a good job. I had plans for the future. I believed everything was moving in the right direction. Then everything changed. One morning, my manager called me into his office. He looked sad. He told me the company was having problems. Many people would lose their jobs. I was one of them. I could not believe it. When I walked home that day, I felt lost. I did not know what to do next. I worried about money. I worried about my future. I worried about my family. Every day I searched for a new job. I sent many applications. I went to interviews. I waited for phone calls. But nothing happened. Days became weeks. Weeks became months. Each time I heard the words, "We chose another person," my heart felt a little more broken. I prayed every night. God, please help me. But after some time, I started to feel tired. I still prayed, but my faith became weak. I wondered if God could hear me. I wondered if God had forgotten me. One evening, I visited my parents. My mother saw the sadness in my eyes. She sat beside me and held my hand. "You look tired," she said softly. I nodded. "I am trying so hard," I said, "but nothing is working." My mother smiled gently. Then she said something I will never forget. "Sometimes God is working in ways we cannot see." I listened quietly. She continued, "When we only look at our problems, we cannot see God's bigger plan." I wanted to believe her words, but it was difficult, very difficult. That night I went home and thought about what she said. Maybe she was right. Maybe I was only looking at the closed doors. Maybe I was not looking at the doors that God was opening. The next morning, I decided to do something different. Instead of starting my day with worry, I started with prayer. I sat quietly, I closed my eyes, and I said, "God, I do not understand what is happening. I am afraid. I am confused. But today, I choose to trust you." Nothing magical happened. The sky did not suddenly become bright. My problems did not disappear. But something changed inside me. I felt a little peace. Just a little, but it was enough. Each morning after that, I prayed the same prayer. God, I trust you. Some days were still hard. Some days I felt fear again. But each time fear came, I prayed. Each time worry came, I prayed. Slowly, my heart became calmer. One afternoon, I received a call from an old friend named Daniel. We had not spoken for a long time. He asked how I was doing. At first, I wanted to say everything is fine. But instead, I told him the truth. I told him about losing my job. I told him about my worries. I told him about my struggle. Daniel listened carefully. Then he said, "Our company is looking for someone. Would you like me to introduce you?" I felt surprised. "Really?" I asked. "Yes," he said. "I think you would be a good fit." A few days later, I had an interview. This time felt different. I was still nervous, but I was not desperate. I had already given my future to God. I simply did my best. After the interview, I prayed. "God, if this is the right door, please open it. If not, help me trust your plan." Then I waited. A week later, the phone rang. My hands shook as I answered. The company offered me the job. I smiled. Then I sat quietly and thanked God. But the story did not end there. When I started the new job, I discovered something amazing. The work fit my skills better than my old job. The people were kind. The environment was peaceful. I learned new things. I grew as a person. For the first time in a long time, I felt excited about the future. One day, during my lunch break, I thought about everything that had happened. If I had never lost my old job, I would never have found this new opportunity. If I had stayed where I was, I might never have grown. At that moment, I finally understood something important. God was not trying to hurt me. God was leading me. Even when I could not see the path, even when I felt lost, even when I was afraid, God was still there. He was guiding me step by step. I remembered all the nights when I cried. I remembered all the days when I felt hopeless. I remembered all the prayers that seemed unanswered. Now I could see that God had been answering them all along, just not in the way I expected. Sometimes we ask God for one thing, but God gives us something better. Sometimes a closed door feels like a punishment, but later we discover it was protection. Sometimes we think God is silent, but He is working quietly behind the scenes. That realization changed my life. I stopped trying to control everything. I stopped demanding answers for every problem. Instead, I learned to walk forward with faith. I learned to trust even when I could not see the whole picture. Life was not perfect after that. There were still challenges. There were still difficult days, but my heart was different. When problems came, I prayed. When fear came, I prayed. When uncertainty came, I prayed. And each time I remembered the lesson God had taught me. Trust comes before understanding. Many people wait until they understand everything before they trust God. But faith works the other way. First we trust. Then, little by little, understanding comes. Today, when someone tells me they are struggling, I share my story. I tell them about the days when I felt lost. I tell them about the prayers. I tell them about the waiting. And I tell them about the moment I finally trusted God's plan. Because that moment changed everything. Not because all my problems did, but because my heart found peace. The greatest gift was not the new job. The greatest gift was learning to trust God. If you are facing a difficult season today, remember this. You may not understand your situation right now. You may feel worried, tired, or afraid. But God sees what you cannot see. He knows the road ahead. He knows the right time. He knows the purpose behind every step. Keep praying, keep believing, keep moving forward. Do not give up. The chapter you are living now is not the end of your story. God is still writing it, and His plan is always bigger than our fears. The life lesson is simple but powerful. Trust God even when you do not understand what is happening. Faith grows during difficult times. Patience brings wisdom, and God's plan is often better than the plan we make for ourselves. So tonight, before you sleep, take a quiet moment and pray. Give your worries to God. Give your fears to God. Give your future to God. And remember this, you are not walking alone. God is with you. He loves you. He is guiding you. And one day, just like me, you may look back and realize that every step was leading you exactly where you needed to be. Trust God's plan. Keep hope in your heart and never stop believing.